There's a lot of business books and personal development books out there, and there's not enough content or books like this for Black women and women of colour. I am your guest host on today's episode of Stories by Career Sistas. My name is Ronke Lawal. I have the honour and privilege of speaking to the mind, the visionary behind Career Sistas. Not only has she built this community, but she has written an amazing book.
So in my previous industry, I started a group for women of color in that industry. I realized there was a lot more that we had in common, that there was value in bringing the strength of that community together. So that then led me to create Career Sistas in the hope of creating something that resonates across a wider spectrum of women from diverse backgrounds.
Visibility is really, really important. And encouraging particularly Black women and women of colour to be visible in a world and a landscape that often tries to make them invisible can be really challenging. A lot of people would agree that it can be quite terrifying to be the only in the room.
As I took steps to put myself forward in little ways, and I achieved those successes in smaller settings, realizing that I was just as competent, sometimes more competent than other people in the room. And over time, that gave me the confidence to say, you know what? I can see this needs doing. I should go that next step further, putting myself out there to represent it, to be the face of it. You can spend a lot of time focusing on what you can't control, or you can put your effort in focusing on what you can control, what you can influence. I think, one of my things is that in a lot of the spaces of power, we are minorities, but collectively, we are the global majority. There are more people who want to help than don't want to help.
Right. And as I was reading your book, as I was reading Build Your Table, I felt like you were a real guide. And look, this book is part memoir, part business book, professional book, personal development. What I really enjoyed was the tactical approaches, the strategies. What are the key things that you want people to remember, particularly women of colour and Black women, to remember when it comes to visibility?
Like, you can get the education, you can get the experience, you can do all the right things. But if no one knows, do the people who matter know what you're doing? There's no point being head down, just doing more and more, but balancing that with taking the 10% of the time to make sure people know what you've done. People need to know the value you bring. So every organization has to be selfish to ensure their own survival. Therefore, you've got to be just as selfish, right? And as you think about your network, as you think about your profile and your platforms, that you're doing that in the best interest of you, holistically, future you. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? And not just what your employer needs today, tomorrow. The traditional old boys network is very good at supporting each other. I want to play a small part in helping us do the same thing, amplify each other, support each other, buy from each other, uplift each other.